Welcome back to the MXGP of Türkiye. We are at the circuit in Afyon, round 18 at the FIA Motocross World Championship. My name is Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us once again for our live broadcast of the FIA Motocross World Championship. The rest of the team doing their bit as well. Cameramen, camera assistants, TV presenters, workers behind the scenes, on behind the gate, all of our editorial staff and all the rest of that. 3 rounds to go coming into this weekend. It'll be 2 as soon as we get these final 2 races out of the way. MX2 Race 2 coming up next on what has been a fantastic weekend for some riders, a difficult one for others. And as we look at the top of the championship table in MX2, Simon Langenfelder held a 15-point lead coming into the weekend. As we head into race 2, he's now just 9 points clear of Kai de Wolf. Is that championship lead going to change hands before the end of the day? Will Langenfelder stay in red as we head to China 1 week from now for the penultimate round? The MX2 riders are out on the track for their sighting lap. It's been freshly watered as well because in the 1 hour break, the sun has been doing nothing but beaming through the sky. The temperature was raised somewhat significantly. It's a little bit breezy out there as well, but just before we came on air, those temperatures started to drop again as the sun disappeared behind the clouds. The racetrack here, though, just over 1,000 meters in elevation. It's hard pack, it's slick, it's loose, it's choppy, it's edgy, it's technical, causing a lot of problems for some riders, but it's also high speed in its nature. Not everybody could find a way through traffic in race 1, some doing it better than others. But what a first race we had in MX2. Plenty going on behind the top 2 who were fighting over 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and down to 8th place. We'll see the highlights in a moment. But this second race, just moments from getting underway. Here's what happened in race 1 earlier. Sacha Coenen over on the right-hand side as we look down, hiding behind the handlebars. He emerged with his 14th foxhole shot of the campaign. Mathis Valin tried to go wide, but just too wide. Left himself vulnerable on the exit. Kai de Wolf into second by the time we got to turn 2. His teammate on the 26, Everts, was 3rd, but he quickly got pushed back by Farres on the 99. There was Langenfelder in 5th position. He then eventually, after getting moved back and forth a couple of positions, started his charge through. Found his way past Valin, then he tucked up the inside of Farres. That put him into 4th on lap 5. Farres came back at him though, but eventually the German held firm. Next man on his sights was Everts. Captain McLennan had just found his way past Mathis Valin. Valin bounced back immediately. So that was for 6th and 7th place. Langenfelder eventually caught Liam Everts, moved past the Belgian on lap 8 of 17. And then he went after Kai de Wolf to try and gain 2 points on the rider who was closest to him. But de Wolf held firm, kept the German at bay, and it was de Wolf who went on to finish 2nd from Langenfelder in 3rd. Behind them, though, the battle for 4th was intense. Valin got past the number 99 of Guillem Farres on the final lap. Everts went with him as well. Farres eventually came home in 6th, McClellan 7th. But for the 3rd time this year, a 5th career victory for the number 19, Sacha Coenen, who won from Kai de Wolf, Langenfelder, Valin and Everts. Anyway, let's go down to Lisa Leyland. She caught up with Carlos Rechalis for Monster Energy Yamaha Factory Racing and Andrea Adamo, who has had an absolute nightmare of a weekend. Now 40 points off 2nd place Kai de Wolf as he sits 3rd in the championship.
Okay, we're almost ready for the penultimate race of the day, which is MX2 Race 2. Let's grab a few words with Red Bull KTM Factory MX2 rider Andrea Adamo. Just mainly because it's just, I guess it's been quite a tough weekend for you, Andrea. I know in the qualifying race yesterday, you accidentally got taken out by Simon. Struggled in that first race earlier today. Are you okay? Are you feeling fit?
Yeah, I'm fit. A little bit sore, but not much, honestly. I messed it up yesterday, quali race. I was in a pretty good gate in 10 practice, but messed it up the motor with some mistakes in the crash. And yeah, now I'm not in the best position on the start, but I mean, yeah, that's I'll try to do my best, but it's really not easy to pass. the top 10 is riding basically the same lap times, so it's really not easy to find the place to pass, but I'll try to make it happen and to try to find good lines and make passes.
When you guys were out there earlier this morning, there was a lot more cloud cover. Now the sun's out, it's noticeably warmer. Is that going to make a difference?
No, not much. It's not warm enough. Should be 40 degrees to make the difference. Then you see really who is fit or not. But at the moment, if it's 24 degrees, 25, I don't know. But it's quite okay. I mean, yes.
Okay, have a good race. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, the next rider I'd like to speak to is Monster Energy Yamaha factory MX2 rider Carles Razulis. Carles, a tough first race for you, and in fact for all the, I guess, the Yamaha MX2 boys, it was a pretty tough one. You guys were struggling. Just tell us about that race from your seat.
Yeah, I got like a decent start from my gate pick. First laps were quite good, and then yeah, towards like the middle, like I was feeling good, and then yeah, it came into some problems, made some mistakes, and I had big difficulties to find back the flow, but yeah, I'm willing to change that this moto.
Yeah. Positive for the weekend, we saw your brother earlier pick up the MX250 title, Carles Razulis. That's a nice moment for him, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy that my little brother has the European title, you know, something to be happy about also for me, to see him progress and everything. So yeah, at least there is one big positive in this weekend.
Okay, well, enjoy this second race. Thank you, Carles. Okay, good luck to the guys. It's time for MX2 race 2.
And without further ado, let's take a quick look at the calendar. Look, 3 rounds to go. 2 after this one, of course. I'm not a mathematical genius, but there you go. Turkey coming to an end today. Straight on the plane. Some riders and teams will head home for a day or two before heading back east to China on Wednesday. Some will go directly there to Shanghai. From there, we will all go directly to Australia. So 3 massive flyaways on the bounce. A week off, and then for those who are selected for their countries, the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. In the USA, here's how the riders line up. Same as they did in race 1, based on where they finished in the qualifying race. Sacha Coenen with his first ever pole position in MX2, going to the line, made it work for him as well. His 19th, his 14th foxhole shot of the season in race 1. Kai de Wolf second, Guillem Farres third, Kemna McClellan, Liam Evans, Simon Langenfelder, Valerio Latta, and then of course Beniston and Mattis Vallant for Adamo, Cars Makers, Racialis, Wolvort, Oliver, Elzinger, Groh, and the rest. But heading into race 1, remember, 15 points separated Langenfelder and de Wolf after the MXGP of the Netherlands. It was down to 11 after the qualifying race. It's down to 9 between Langenfelder and de Wolf as we head into race 2 here in Türkiye. Will there be a new red plate holder as we head to China? Will Langenfelder do enough to maintain that red plate with 2 rounds to go? Big race. Big race on the cards indeed. Sacha Coenen, well, he's been absolutely electric all weekend long. He was fantastic in the qualifying race. Got his 3rd race win of the season in race 1. Kai de Wolf was happy to sit there in 2nd position in race number 1. And then when Langenfelder started to press in the latter stages, just seemed to have enough left in the tank to make the difference, to stay in that 2nd and gain 2 vital points in that championship chase. Kemna McClellan, spoke to him a moment ago before the riders went out on their sighting lap. Said, you feeling okay? He said, yeah, well, actually, no, I've not been feeling great since Friday. So he's just trying to get through whatever it is, whether it's a stomach bug or something like that, but not feeling 100%. Still, came home 7th in that first race. Liam Evans was 5th. Guillem Farres was 6th. Interesting, I was talking to Kai de Wolf, and he said, you know what? It's starting to become a bit of a pressure cooker now in that fight for the championship chase between him and Simon Langenfelder. Yes, he did what he needed to do. Kai de Wolf gained a couple of points here on the championship leader, but we are getting to that point 9, and it might be 6, it might be 5, it might go the other way. But he says we've got the advantage of being there before, even though they were in a much more comfortable position last year. But either way, they had that experience, Nastan Husqvarna and Kai de Wolf. The Fly Racing 15-second board up, that'll turn to 5, 30 minutes plus 2, MX2 race 2. To see the overall winner of this Grand Prix of Turkey. And Sacha Coenen once again Oh, he was drifting the bike through there over the foxhole shot line once again. 15 in the books for the season. Farres, another good start for the rider from Spain. Second, and Langenfelder gets his much needed start as well, and this time it's De Wolf who's in that 6th position. Langenfelder just said he again, I was talking to him after that first race, said he made a massive mistake at the start of race 1. He started in 2nd gear, and that was the problem. He said, although somehow managed to get out of the turn in 3rd place, so he didn't get the jump. Presumably, he started in 1st gear this time around, giving himself a much better opportunity of a better jump. Well, he's ahead of Kai de Wolf, but the track is hard and slick. Farres challenging, and there you see how slick it is. Farres nips up the inside, takes the lead away from Sacha Coenen. Langenfelder in 3rd position, dealing with number 8, Captain McClellan, and the rider in green. Look how slick it is here. Some riders throwing caution to the wind because of those tricky conditions, hard and slick and dry in other places. Sacha Coenen launches down the inside of Farres. Farres bites back immediately. These two going to trip each other up if they're not careful. Certainly with the conditions as slick as they are after fresh water. Verlan dropping to 5th as Captain McClellan nips up the inside and he goes after Langenfelder, bottom of his screen. McClellan then into 4th place. So despite not feeling quite 100%, Captain McClellan in a pretty good position at the moment. Coenen looks over his shoulder, taking a breather already on this opening lap, letting Farres just get on with it. But it's Farres, Coenen, Langenfelder, McClellan, Verlan, De Wolf in 6th, Everts in 7th. Langenfelder knows he has the opportunity here to pull back that ground. Verlan back up the inside, and McClellan through the first turn. Can he make it stick? He's got the inside line here. Runs McClellan a little bit wide on the exit. McClellan will be to the right side. When they come into land, closes down the door on the Triumph rider, regains that 4th place. Frantic action here in the early laps of MX2 race 2. Can we put the checkered flag now? Put the checkered flag now out, please. So Verlan back on the charge. Into that 4th place, going after Langenfelder. The number 27, your championship leader. He's going to be in a 20-point scoring position at the moment. De Wolf is going to be 15, so it's going to be 5 points gained back if it stays like this. But you just know, 27 minutes plus 2 to go. A long way to go. De Wolf just looking like he's biding his time. And that was another thing that Rasmus Jorgensen, the team manager, said as McClellan moves back past Verlan into that 4th place. Jorgensen saying, oh, Langenfelder off the side of the track there. Saw guys to do that in MXGP race 1. Didn't gain, didn't lose. Said he had a good start in the first race, did De Wolf. Hopefully he can get another one here in this one. It starts to let him down. McClellan now up in the 3rd. Langenfelder losing that 3rd place, losing 2 vital points at the top of the championship. De Wolf will look up, see that McClellan is golfing, buddy. He's found his way past the championship leader, doing him a favour, inverted commas. First official full lap then, from finish line to finish line in the books. Farres, almost 2 seconds clear of Sacha Coenen. 3rd is McClellan. 4th is Langenfelder. 5th, Verlan. 6th, De Wolf. Beniston up to 7. Everts 8. Racialist 9. Latta 10. We've got Carsmakers Oliver Adamo in 13th position. He was already 40 points down on De Wolf going into race 2. A nail in the coffin for his championship aspirations, perhaps, all coming here in Turkey. But you can't just blame this race. There's been other rounds where Adamo may be a little bit out of sorts. Round 1 in Argentina, 10th overall, no fault of his own. Germany, 10th overall. Belgium, 12th overall. 13th in the Netherlands. 10th in the... yeah, that was it. 2 10th place finishes. Latvia and Argentina for Adamo. McClellan sitting there in 3rd place. Langenfelder 4th. Only a couple seconds further back is Kai de Wolf. See the wind starting to pick up as well. We had wind late in the qualifying race yesterday. Riders would have felt it as well. The conditions very cool now. Nice drive that from Langenfelder down that back straight into turn 11. Does he make the pass stick? McClellan around the outside, but well, I tell you what, little bit of bar bag in, and Camden McClellan comes off worse. Made the move for third, but McClellan picks himself up. That's going to do his teammate, his golf buddy a favour anyway, because he will find a way by now. So McClellan out of that fourth place. Expensive mistake for the number 8. Possibly challenging for a podium before that moment. So Farres leads Coenen by 2.5 seconds. Langenfelder up to third. McClellan down to 9th with that mistake on lap 2. Podium as it stands right now. Sacha Coenen on 47, Farres on 40, tied with Langenfelder. Farres going after his second podium in MX2, second in Germany. De Wolf off the box, 4th with 38 points. But as I say, still a long way to go. But it's Farres, who was the fastest rider on track last time around, by about 3/4 of a second over Sacha Coenen. There's McClellan just ahead of the 18 of Valerio Latta, 47 of Carlos Racelis on the Yamaha. He is in 10th place. There's Everts going through in 7th. There's McClellan 8th. Watch this here. Tried to go in, but you knew you were going to get squeezed. He was up the side of the bank and down. Lucky not to tweak a knee there in that exchange. They were holding their breath because they were thinking, wow, that could have been Simon. Everts, lead rider in shot, number 26, in that 7th position. Captain McClellan just get the kind of pace that he had at the start of the race before he went down after that contact with Simon Langenfelder. Guillem Farres, already a race winner in Germany this year, race 2, didn't know he'd won the race. Vincent Barani was on our studio show on Saturday here. Said we deliberately didn't put the board out to him to say that he was leading the race, because that's when you've never had a race win before, you start second guessing, thinking about stuff, getting nervous. Oh, problems there for Everts. McClellan all over the back of him here, bottom of your screen. And then streaking away in the opposite direction. Farres, Coenen, Langenfelder, fastest rider on track, fastest lap of the race. He's in 3rd, a 2.5 seconds behind Coenen. Valant 4th, nearly 2 seconds further back. McClellan in that 8th place here, still pressing the 26th of Liam Everts on the Nistan Husqvarna in front of him on that white machine. Sticky ruts, hard pack. They've fluffed up a little bit here and there just to maybe get a little bit more moisture in some places. But at least now, any really wet stuff that they threw down in the break, in the 1 hour break, has dissipated and evaporated. This is 2nd and 3rd, 2 teammates. Sacha Coenen and Simon Langenfelder. Both are going to be on the podium at the moment, but Langenfelder could really do with a favour from his teammate here, just to get into 2nd, gain a couple of points on De Wolf. Not sure if they've even started talking about team orders 3 rounds out yet. Drops it across the front of the Belgian. Ruthless there, Simon Langenfelder. I think it was inadvertent though. Just had the better line, swept in, moves into that 2nd place. Langenfelder now looking to go after Farres. And sets another fastest lap of the race as well, 1:56.7 compared to a 58.6 of Farres, 2:05 for Sacha Coenen. Watch this here. Yeah, squeezed him. Sacha Coenen there, little legs just coming off the pegs. As he lost balance, but he maintains position in that third place. Still in a Grand Prix winning position as it stands right now. That would change though if Langenfelder finds his way past Farres for the lead. Here's Kaide Wolf. Not bringing the goods at the moment in that 5th position. Still trying to find his way past Milan. You heard Andrea Adamo say at the start of the race, not the easiest place to pass. Everybody running a similar pace. So, reading between the lines, you have to take that little bit of extra risk for that bit of reward if you want to make a pass. And I think Kaide Wolf is in that situation at the moment, knowing that he's gone 2 steps forward, doesn't want to go 3 steps back. In this second race this weekend, gained ground in the qualifying race, gained ground after race 1, will lose ground in race 2 if things stay as they are. Oh, Adamo fighting the front and the back end there. Not had a lot of luck in that corner so far this weekend, has he? Watch this, catches an edge with the front end and the back end. Oh, twice it misbehaved. The gap back out of 15 points between Langenfelder and De Wolf, as it was at the start of the weekend. That's the very least Simon Langenfelder can hope for. But you can see he's got Guillem Farres right ahead of him now. Your race leader, number 99, on that Monster Energy Triumph. Only got one thing on his mind, hasn't he, Langenfelder? The race win, the overall Grand Prix victory. Gaining 3 more points. Love to take it out to 18, but that depends on what De Wolf does later on in the race. But we know Farres, not an easy, not a pushover. And he will squeeze Langenfelder at every opportunity. Sure, Langenfelder's mindful of that. Maxim Groh has moved into 10th place, found his way past Racialis. Turn 5, over the little single. Langenfelder absolutely locked in and loaded, ready to fire. A warning shot to everybody else in MX2. Despite all of his problems so far this weekend, still coming out swinging and fighting. Doesn't want to get held up behind Farres though for too much longer. Coenen sitting back in 3rd. He's been good through the waves, but not on this occasion. So then goes inside, follows Farres through, knows it's the best rate through. Oh, wrestling the rear wheel there on the exit of that turn. Langenfelder, when I spoke to him before the start of the race, said, I'm actually feeling good. My speed's good. It was just started in 2nd, not 1st. That was a rookie error kind of thing. But he said my riding was good, my speed was good. Feeling good for the 2nd race. He certainly is. Definitely bringing his A game at the minute. Oh, Adamo going from bad to worse. 11th. Down to wherever he picks himself up. We'll see next time he comes around. Waiting for Adamo to cross the line. Meanwhile, Langenfelder tries to go around the outside of Farres. Farres too cute for that. Radar on underneath that helmet of his. Adamo down to 14th. Losing 3 more positions. Tried this a lap ago, Simon Langenfelder. A little bit wider, tried to sweep in, gets good drive, stays off of that single. Is that going to make the difference? Is he going to go the long way around here? Wheels on the ground nice and early as he came into land as well on the number 27, Red Bull KTM. Oh, brave to go around there. Somehow both riders stay intact and upright. Yeah, now Farres starting to play silly buggers, looking across, trying to close off the attack from Langenfelder, trying to take him to the cleaners. Langenfelder, if he gets good drive here, will find his way past at the end, and he does get good drive, and he does find his way by. We've got a new leader on lap 7, and it's Simon Langenfelder. Crucial move for the German. Sacha Coenen, third, under pressure from De Wolf now, who's making inroads. He's found his way past Valin. And of course, Cameron McClellan, he fell when De Wolf was in 6th position. So made one pass since then, and is going after the number 19. Knows this one could be all about damage limitation if he is to regain his championship, or retain his championship. Gonna go the long way round here. Coenen keeping him to the outside. Drag race as they go down past pit lane. Right, De Wolf, is there going to be fun and games in this turn? Not quite. Coenen still there in 3rd. All over the back of Farres now. A 3-way battle for 2nd. Oh, monstrous leap there from Coenen. Couldn't quite find his way past. Farres hanging on for now. De Wolf relentless in his pursuit of Sacha Coenen at the minute. Langenfelder on 8:33. At the top of the championship. The gap 16 points as it stands right now. Oh. So despite finding his way past Farres for the lead, obviously De Wolf making his move on Valin, reducing that gap from 18 to 16 points. Oh, how good was Coenen through there. Rode his luck a little bit though, up on the pegs. But he knows he's got company in the form of De Wolf, who gets better drive around that outside. He'll cut to the outside, the right-hand side of the Belgian, as we head into the final turn at the end of lap 8. Does he find his way past? High and wide, drops back down. Try the same move as he did a lap ago. Can he get out of the turn even earlier this time around? No, he can't. De Wolf only been on the podium one time here. That was last year with a 4th and a 2nd. He's going to be on the podium again here this year, 2025. But he's having to do it the hard way, isn't he? 2nd and a 4th again at the moment, hoping to find his way past Coenen for 3rd. But it's Langenfelder in the driving seat in terms of the overall classification. He and Coenen tied on points as it stands right now for the top step, both on 45, De Wolf on 40. Look at the effort that De Wolf is putting in. Going to cut back here, try and find a nice tight line. Not tight enough. That transfer doesn't seem to be working either. No one really using it. And they weren't actually in MX2 race 1 either. Trying to suss out Coenen once again. 2 or 3 laps now, he's been parked behind the number 19. Both riders hanging off the back of the motorcycle. De Wolf obviously a little bit further back for obvious reasons. Looking to make a move up the inside here. Doesn't happen, so he's got to go the long way round. Doesn't work there either. Coenen being very tenacious. That dogged determination of the number 19. All or nothing, isn't he? Sacha Coenen still hanging on to that 3rd place. Again, De Wolf doubles his way in. 3rd attempt in this corner in successive laps. At some point, he knows he's got to be out of here tighter. He is this time around. Coenen knows he's there. Looks back nervously over the shoulder. Sees the lanky Dutchman breathing down his neck once more. This time, outfoxes Coenen, and De Wolf finally moves into that third place. Going to gain another couple of points back as well. It's going to be down to 14 if he hits the line in that third place.
He's in the top position right now.
Oh. Easy on the gas there, Kai. Darmo back up to 12th after falling from 11th to 14th. Are we looking at a two-horse race for this MX2 title race now? With 2 rounds to go, plus the remaining laps. 9 minutes plus 2 here in Türkiye. Forcing his way down the inside of Maxim Gro, Adamo up to 11th. He believes he still has an opportunity, a shot at a second world title. Adamo using that transfer as he closes in on Karlis Reislis. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider from Latvia saw his younger brother Janis crowned MX250 champion, European champion this weekend. Adamo breezes past the Latvian though, into 10th. Still points and riders to be had. Langenfelder 1:56.221. This time around, fastest lap of the race. Race 1 was a 1:56.255 on lap 7. So 3 laps later in lap 2, in race 2, Langenfelder with the Acerbis fastest lap then, ever so slightly quicker. 2:55.221, they're the margins. In terms of Acerbis fastest laps, it's Simon Langenfelder who holds the most, 6 at the moment. So if he stays there and no one eclipses him, or if he goes even better, then that will be 7 Acerbis fastest laps in 2025 for the German. De Wolf and Farres. Story of De Wolf's race then. Got alongside the 317 of Mathis Valin. That got him into 4th place. Then he goes around the outside of Sacha Coenen. Didn't make it happen here. There was Farres just ahead of them. Tried to cut back here. Got to time that to perfection. Otherwise you connect the rear wheel. And then several occasions the Belgian kept the Dutchman at bay. And this was finally where it happened. De Wolf getting alongside, scrubbing alongside the Belgian. That was the move into 3rd for De Wolf. 2 points, vital points clawed back for the defending champ. Farres being a stubborn opponent though. With 6.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Farres still hanging on to 2nd. He's not going to make the podium though. Guillem Farres, 6th in race 1, 2nd in race 2. Farres is going to be 4th overall on 37 points as it stands right now. De Wolf on 42 on the 3rd step of the podium. That's the 99 now, is the message to the Wolf. Easier said than done. He's probably thinking, pitboard messages. They always state the obvious, but they do it to encourage, just in case you've forgotten what the message is mid-race. Riders are there for one thing only, and that's to win. Certainly riders like Kai De Wolf, Sacha Coenen, Guillem Farres got his race win earlier on in the year. Sacha Coenen then confirmed with the Foxhole shot for the 15th time this year. And on that note, let's take a look at how he did it. Replay of the start coming up. Over on the right-hand side, gets a good jump. Just gives himself a bit of room as he moves across the riders to his right. Must have been tight, but it was Sacha Coenen for the 15th time this year. Langenfelder emerging in third place. Best start of the weekend for the German. The championship leader needed one as well right at that moment in time. The two Husqvarnas went in bar to bar, De Wolf and Everts. Everts feeling the elbow of his teammate on the exit of the turn. The two Triumphs over on the left as well. And then Thibaut Beneston, he's in 7th place now. Simon Langenfelder, 3.5 seconds clear. At sector 3, sector 4, just around this left-hand turn. So Simon Langenfelder, just a bit of a shake of the head there as he completes lap 12, moves into lap 13. What's his race been like? Let's take a look, shall we? So Langenfelder was in 3rd, then 4th. He and Camden McClellan having their little back and forth. McClellan tried to find his way past into 3rd, but just came off worse. That put Langenfelder securely in 3rd. He then went after his teammate, Sacha Coenen. Those two bumped a little bit. He moved into 2nd. Clear track ahead of him. Whittled down the gap between himself and Guillem Farres. Farres didn't make it easy for him, as you can see, but talk about threading through the eye of a needle. That's how tight it was as he took over the lead, Langenfelder. It was on lap 7. We're on now lap 12. It's Kai de Wolf who's now trying to find his way past Guillem Farres, the Spaniard, the Monster Energy Triumph rider. Darmo up to 10th, about a second and a half, 1.7 behind Valerio Latta. Crucial because of the fact that he's 3rd in the championship, but losing a lot more ground in this second race than he would have liked. Right, De Wolf, great drive. And Farres looked like he had to check up there, because as he tried to close down, De Wolf was coming through no matter what. And he just had to tip over to the right, Guillem Farres, just to make sure the two riders didn't bang bars and go down. De Wolf now 2nd. Two and a half minutes plus 2 to go. Langenfelder's lap time last time around was a 1:57.5. De Wolf half a second quicker in traffic, finding his way past Farres. Everts is moved into 5th. He's moved by Mathis Vallat. So the Husqvarna going by the Kawasaki. Here's how he did it. Start of lap 13, which has now come to an end. Just runs wide. Oh, heavy landing, but he was already alongside him there, wasn't he? Everts up to 5th. Right, what's the gap between Langenfelder and De Wolf? 3.4 seconds. Sector 1, 32.7, Langenfelder, 32.4, De Wolf. There is Langenfelder. Wow, you know what? This is going to be a massive push for Kai de Wolf. Now that he's got clear track, has he left his charge too late, though? That is going to be the big question. You cannot knock his effort, but did he stay in that 6th, 7th position in those early laps as the racetrack was a little bit greasy after fresh water on the circuit? We will soon find out. Here's Adamo all over the back of Latta now, 2 Italians. These two fighting over 9th place. Continuing to push on despite the difficulties he's had this weekend. Gap down to 12 points as it stands right now. That'll be a gain of 3 over the course of the weekend for Kai de Wolf, who started the weekend 15 down on Simon Langenfelder. But this is the battle behind him, Sacha Coenen in 4th, and Everts in 5th place. Sacha Coenen, 3rd overall in the Grand Prix now, behind De Wolf in 2nd, Langenfelder on the top step. Good late charge just from Liam Everts. On the 26th, Nastan Husqvarna found his way past Mattis Verland, that part of the track a lap or two ago. Can he do the same with Sacha Coenen? Will be on the podium if he stays where he is, even if Everts finds his way by. De Wolf is reeling in Langenfelder, the gap just under 3 seconds, 2.8, as De Wolf puts his best lap of the race in, a 1:56.8 compared to a 57.3. Again, not massive margins, half a second here, half a second there. We'll have 2 laps to go next time around. And when you're pushing this pace, there you see De Wolf heading through the waves in the opposite direction. Langenfelder hits sector 3 now, 25.6 after going fastest in sector 2. And 25.7, so the gap back out to 3.1. Good response this from Langenfelder. Two Belgians. They're going to be nations teammates in about a month's time. Into the penultimate lap, Simon Langenfelder. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Another best lap for De Wolf. Another 1:56.7 compared to a 57.1. Tantalizingly close, but not close enough at the minute. Seems like everything that De Wolf throws at Langenfelder, the German responds. Even if it is a couple of tenths here and there. Benniston has found his way past McClellan, or McClellan trying to find his way back past after his mistake earlier in the race. I think it's the latter. Benniston 7, McClellan 8. Adamo closer to latter than he was a lap ago, as they fight over 9th place. Latter read it well, but not well enough. But he swings across the front of the number 80. Maintains track position in 9th place. Looking to do the wide sweep. Just to carry a bit more momentum, open up the turn with that low line on the left-hand side on the exit of the turn. Again, he'll try to out-fox Latter here, who's holding a very defensive line. Oh, tell you what, did he take a little bit more off the corner than he wanted to there? Oh yeah, up on the bank, into the rear wheel. Almost cost him a few spokes. Just looking up at the timing screen, Langenfelder and De Wolf have just gone through. De Wolf has just gone and set the Achebe's fastest lap of the race so far, 1:56.2. That's the gap, 1.8. Doesn't look like 1.8 anymore over the next couple of corners, does it? We are into the final lap. Big, big push for Langenfelder and De Wolf. And it will be for the overall Grand Prix as well, and 3 extra points in the championship for the number 1. A little bit of a snag there through the final turn. He felt it cost him some time, Langenfelder, who is now under the cosh. Best race of the day so far. The top 2 in the championship, first and second in the race in championship order. This one for bragging rights and chest beating as we head to China for the penultimate round. Look at the commitment from De Wolf. Not leaving anything on the table, but did he leave his push too late? Were the track conditions just a little bit too risky for him early on? Didn't want to take that kind of risk. A little bit squirrely coming out of that turn into the waves. Not close enough to launch an attack here at the end of the straight. Langenfelder, 2 seconds clear now. And De Wolf, sensing his opportunity, may have been lost. 2 corners to go. And Simon Langenfelder working his way towards a checkered flag. Langenfelder will cross the line. Langenfelder wins race 2. He wins the MXGP of Türkiye. Hasn't been an easy weekend for him, but he turned it around when it mattered. Langenfelder, what a performance from him. Top step of the podium, does it with a race win. But this championship chase still very far from over. 24 career race wins now for Simon Langenfelder. 35 career podiums, 9 as a Grand Prix winner. And Simon Langenfelder, wow, what a race. What an ending to that race as well. The first German to win in Turkey as well. He was 3rd overall here last year with a 2nd and a 4th. He goes 2 steps better when it mattered. Big win that for Simon Langenfelder. The gap between Kai De Wolf in 2nd and Simon Langenfelder, the championship leader. 12 points as we head into the penultimate round. Kai De Wolf does gain 3 overall over the course of the weekend, but it's still Langenfelder in red as we head to Shanghai. So Langenfelder 45 points as he wins the Grand Prix here. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Simon Langenfelder, congratulations. 6th overall of the season for you. You really had to dig in deep in those final few laps.
First of all, my parents were home. I think my dad got a hard stop. He's always so nervous, but I'm happy to bring it home. I'm sorry for the extra excitement, but yeah, I'm just happy.
Enjoy this moment, thank you.
Heart-stopping moment then for Mr. Langenfelder at home. 12 points. Could have been 9 had Langenfelder been passed by De Wolf, but he's treading water at the moment, isn't he, with 2 rounds to go. But what a performance, massive performance, good confidence-boosting performance as well. Toe-to-toe with Kai De Wolf, that's what it meant to him. Big win as he crossed the line by just over a second. Langenfelder with his 10th race win of the season. 10th Grand Prix podium as well. 6th victory, the same as Kai De Wolf now for the campaign, but it's Langenfelder who wins race 2. De Wolf 2nd, Guillem Farres, a fantastic 3rd for him. Sacha Coenen 4th, Everts 5th, Mathis Vallant, Thibaut Beneston and Camden McClellan. Andrea Adamo 9th and Valerio Latta 10. With Grote, Wolvort, Karsmakers, Oliver, Raceless and Elzinger. And Ali. Simon Langenfelder on the top step here in Türkiye. De Wolf 2nd. Sacha Coenen 3rd. With Perez and Vallant rounding out the top 5. Camden McClellan probably kicking himself. There was a potential opportunity for a podium there before he made that mistake when he got into the rear of Langenfelder. And Andrea Adamo started the weekend 23 points behind De Wolf. 38 off the lead, is now 50 behind De Wolf in that 3rd place. That is a Grand Prix weekend. So Simon Langenfelder, 8:33, 12 points clear of Kai De Wolf. Adamo 50 points further back. 62 off the lead now. Big weekend for Langenfelder and De Wolf. Adamo will be kicking himself, put himself in a bad situation, he said yesterday, with the qualifying race, and then just other things not going his way, and a fall again in race 2. So just one of those things. He'll have to pick himself up, dust himself down, come out swinging again in Shanghai 1 week from now. Not a lot of time to recover, but that's the nature of the game. It's a hell of a roller coaster ride, isn't it? This motocross lark.
Kubat ve Funda Arar konserini de bir kez daha hatırlatalım. Konser alanında harika sanatçılarla çarşamba gününden beri sizlerle birlikte oluyoruz. Türkiye'nin en önemli isimleri
Manufacturers Championship looks like this.
Bizlerle birlikte oldu.
KTM in control, look, from Husqvarna, Yamaha, and we've got the rest, Triumph, Honda, Kawasaki, TM, and Gas.
994 puana KTM şu anda markalar klasmanında zirvede.
Let's go to the foxhole shot. Been the story of the season, officially confirmed then already before the first race. Sacha Coenen picking up both black plates here today. Foxhole shot's number 14 in race 1, 15 in race 2, 32 in the career of the number 19, Sacha Coenen. And on the podium here this weekend, third overall. Let's go down to the podium then, shall we? Sacha Coenen, third overall, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Kai de Wolf, second overall, Nastan has for Hunter Factory Racing, still got a smile on his face. And you should smile, he's still gained 3 points in the championship chase. Simon Langenfelder had to dig deep for that one. Top step of the podium for the German. 6th time this year. Davide Carli, team manager, co-team owner, will take the team trophy back to Rome. First thing in the morning, maybe even earlier than that. Burcu Köksal, Afyon Mayor, hands a third place trophy to Sacha Coenen, third overall this weekend. And as always, great to have the dignitaries here, the support from the local community. Second place trophy to Kai de Wolf. Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing inching closer to Langenfelder, but it's Langenfelder who wins the Grand Prix here in Afyon, the MXGP of Turkey. A massive turnaround for him. After third in race 1, 6th in the qualifying race, a win in race 2. Davide Carli taking the team trophy there.
FIM and CMS director gives trophy to the red plate.
Red plate still belongs in the hands. There was maybe an element of doubt, wasn't there, at the start of the weekend, but Simon Langenfelder on a rescue mission in race 2. He leaves here with his championship lead intact. It may have been chopped away by 3 points from 15 to 12, but crucially he goes to China with that red plate. Simon Langenfelder on the top step here, round 18 of the Afyon Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Türkiye in Afyon, and does it the hard way. A third and a first, working through traffic the entire time to secure that championship leader's red plate. De Wolf second, Sacha Coenen third. Let's take a look at the highlights of the race. In the second MX2 race, once again over on the right-hand side as we look down, number 19, Sacha Coenen, over the foxhole shot line for the second time this weekend, the 15th time this season. Could he pull away like he did in race one? Well, that was going to be the big question. Farres emerged in second. Langenfelder with a better start. He started in second gear in race one. That halted any kind of good getaway. Made up for it here in race two, though. Camden McClellan in fourth. Verlan in fifth. De Wolf into sixth in the first couple of corners. Farres taking over the lead. But then, this was a battle here. The two teammates, Langenfelder going past his teammate Coenen. That put him into second position. He went after Farres, and look out, Farres tried to squeeze him to the inside. Langenfelder won the battle there. That was on lap 7 of 17 to move into the lead. Kai de Wolf knew then he had to get a bit of a move on. An issue there on the exit of the turn for Sacha Coenen. That's why de Wolf was able to go through. Quick pass there, quick pass here in the latter stages for second on Farres, and then he went after Simon Langenfelder. This is about as close as it got, though, between the two, and it was the number 27 of Simon Langenfelder who did just enough to hang on, and he went on to win race two, and with it the overall. Langenfelder your winner in the race from de Wolf, Farres, Coenen and Everts. The overall, Langenfelder, de Wolf, Coenen, Farres and Verlan.
Simon Langenfelder, congratulations, your 6th overall of the season. Perhaps not the best starts, but recovered well in both races. Nice move on Farres for that race win. Great comeback after Arnhem.
Yeah, wasn't the easiest one. I really needed to fight hard. Had some bad weekends and super happy. I wish I would have my heart rate monitor on in this motor, because I think I went over 200 for sure after that crash. But yeah, brought it home and super happy and ready to go to China now.
Okay. Thank you, Simon. Second overall today we have Kai de Wolf. Kai, in that first race you were smart, you were consistent, fully on a charge race two, maybe ran out of time at the end there.
Yeah, just ran out of a bit of time. Showed I was the fastest, so yeah, looking forward for China, and yeah, can't wait for that one, then Australia, so really looking forward for the next two one, and yeah, I will be there.
Thanks, Kai. Third overall today we have Sacha Coenen. Sacha, you've been strong all weekend here. 2 good starts, a race win, a 4th. How do you reflect on your weekend? Consistency with another podium.
Yeah, I was quite happy after first moto, but second moto didn't went the way I wanted. So yeah, I took the whole shot, and in the third corner I make a big mistake and Farres passed me, and then was almost impossible to pass him. So I was like just trying to survive, and yeah, that's it. Finished third overall.
Thank you, Sacha.
Sacha Coenen then third overall with a first and a 4th, securing his 11th career podium, 7th time as a 3rd place finisher. He got his 5th career race win in race 1 as well. So all in all, not a bad weekend for Sacha Coenen here in Türkiye. Second overall for Kai de Wolf, his 38th career podium, 15 now as a 2nd place finisher. But crucially, he gains ground on Simon Langenfelder, moves from 15 points to 12 points behind the championship leader now as we head into the penultimate round in Shanghai. Are we going to get more shenanigans as we go to China? Simon Langenfelder, though, 35 career podiums now, 9 from the top step of the podium. 24 race wins for the number 27. The Red Bull KTM factory rider maintains his lead at the top of the championship in MX2 with 2 rounds to go with his victory here in Türkiye. Back in a moment with MXGP Race 2. See you then.